and I have the great pleasure in inviting Dr. Barun Naik, who was the past editor who raised the standards of Indian Journal of Ophthalmology to this height. And Indian Journal of Ophthalmology is always indebted to him. And he is now currently the editor of Journal of Clinical Ophthalmology and Research. And I'm going to request him to speak on framing a research question. And he likes a lot of questions. And so please, I think still we don't know what to do to stimulate the JJ postgraduates. Alok, you have to encourage them to ask questions.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Natarajan, for giving me this opportunity. And this is once I became, earlier I was also like one of you, 8 years back, but after taking over the editor of Indian Journal of Ophthalmology, I really developed interest, and now it has become my passion. So wherever there is any course, you will always find me there, because I leave everything and I give top priority to this. And a lot of my learning has been Professor Mulial, that he had been in our course so many times, and always there is so many things from him to learn that you cannot imagine. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the framing a research question, because any study that you start, the research question is the starting point of any research work. And so first of all, what you have to do, you have to identify a problem, and problem which is unanswered yet. So subsequent to that, you will formulate a research question. Now your quality of research, of course you have to choose the proper design, but also what is your research question that you have formulated, it's a lot depends on that.
Barun, sorry for interrupting. He asked a question before you came to do a study, so I thought you can use that as an example.
Yeah, okay, we'll
try to solve those answers clinically by supplementing, whatever is necessary. Despite if the patient keeps on complaining about the pricking, someday you find that, okay, let me try omega-3 fatty acid, whether the pricking goes. Then you start giving it, and sometimes you find, yes, patients are now better. But still you don't know what is happening, whether what you are thinking is in a correct line, whether you should, do some detailed examination as to why pricking occurs and how can I avoid this particular complication from happening so that my clinical practice becomes more enjoyable. So I'm still not finding the relief after 4 years of continuously focusing on this issue post-operatively.
So okay, at the end I'll just touch upon this, because this was also in my mind and I did something. So I'll highlight that. So the research question has to be precise. It should be truncated. I'll give you just examples which is probably very easy to understand. What do I mean by that? And should answer unanswered problem which has not been studied earlier. Should be important and significant. It has to be significant and important for your clinical practice, for your medical care. And should be feasible. Don't plan something or don't formulate a research question which you think you don't have for that whatever the things are required, like infrastructure, monetary requirement, even the funds for that, even the basic staff that you need for that, even the lab equipment that you need and the tests that you need. So all those things you have to first find out what are your limitations and strengths. Based on that you formulate a research question and enter into that area. And the importance of research lies in the importance of research question. There is no doubt about it. Just to give you an example that how to be little more precise about, suppose someone says that I want to compare Lara versus Tendulkar, because cricket everyone understands very easily. And is it a good research question that Lara versus I want to compare? What are the problems in this? Any objection to this? I say I want to compare Lara versus Tendulkar. What are the problems? What will be your objection to this question? Different color.
Precision is important.
Precision is important. So similarly, like say just one research question again related to glaucoma, to compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in glaucoma patients. Any ambiguity in this? There are a lot of ambiguity. I'll tell you. Now read this. The second, same, related to same. But next question, to compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in newly diagnosed glaucoma patients with advanced glaucomatous damage. It means now you have narrowed down the patient selection criteria. Earlier it was not specified anything, but now you have said that glaucoma patients who have been, now there's in cricket, as cricketer also there are a lot of aspects. So in that, which aspect, because if you keep your questions broad, you will not get a proper answer, you will not get authoritative answer. So for that, like next if I say that, okay, compare whether Lara is a good batsman as Tendulkar, because both are basically batsmen. Okay. Then similarly, still, means it's a batsman also, there may be many types of batsmen. One may be opener, and these days there are 3 formats of the game. So whether the person may be good for the test series, but may not be good for T20. So what do you want to compare? But all this should be decided beforehand. Because today we know that, okay, now this is the position of Tendulkar, so many centuries he has hit, Lara so many centuries. If I say that I want to compare this now retrospective and see who has hit more centuries, you know that already Tendulkar has hit more centuries, so Tendulkar is going to score over it. But 20 years before, if you would have said, I am designing this study and see now these 2 players are very promising, both are batsmen, and I'll compare this. And then these are the parameters which are going to be compared. So then whatever is the outcome, that will give you a proper answer. Now similarly, now compare where Lara is good batsman and Tendulkar in ODI, because now you are narrowing down. That I don't want to do in test match, I just simply want to see in ODI. Similarly, still you can go narrow, that in some people say that they perform better in home series, some perform better when they are away. So in what aspect you want to compare? Similarly, one may be that some players are also always they are labeled as, okay, he's a very good run chaser, he's a very good as target setter. So all this means whatever you want to know, you have to decide and then narrow it down as narrow as possible. So now with this, I'll just give to the research question. For formulating a research question in medical science, literature search should be exhaustive. Because if something has already been answered, there is no question again going for that. And for that, Vasumati has taken a very nice lecture. Find out what is known, find out what is unknown, and what is the controversy. So then, based on this, you will come to know what is the lacuna in literature. And formulate a question whose answer will fill this lacuna. So that will be your proper. Now example, just say some of the examples which, like OCT is used in diagnosis for early glaucoma. Okay? Now, how do we do? By normative data provided by the manufacturer. Now, those normative database is based on Caucasian. And we are doing a study we are examining patients in Indian population. Definitely there are racial variations in the measurements. So, if we follow the same normative database which is based on Caucasian, probably we will be at fault. So, then it means this is the lacunae. So, now someone say that, okay, now study conducted on normal Indians to have database of normal Indians, this will be a good research question. This will be a good topic to study with. Similarly, like now all those glaucoma, there are big multi-centric trials which have been already completed. But, say like EMGT, what did it tell? That when the early glaucoma patient are diagnosed early, whenever the patients were diagnosed, whether to treat or not to treat, is there a difference? Because we were treating all patients. So then based on that, this study was designed. And then once we got the answer, then at least we know that, okay, which are the patients to be treated, which are the patients not to be treated. So it doesn't mean that all early glaucoma patients should be treated. That answer we got from this study. Similarly, like advanced glaucoma intervention study, where the treatment is not controversial, you have to give treatment. But which mode to be given? For that, there were 2 arms. This the trabeculectomy, argon laser, and trabeculectomy, and then the second arm was first laser and then trabeculectomy followed by trabeculectomy. Which one is better? So this was the answer that we got. Then similarly, first diagnosed will be different than already who is patients who have been on treatment for some time. Because then again it will give a different response. And usually, where do you find the aim of the study or the research question in any paper? Either in introduction, the last sentence or the last paragraph is the position where you get this. And usually it is written that the aim of the study was. So that is the research question for any study. Now suppose, but then again, I am emphasizing this, that whenever you are writing a scientific writing, you have to be really very precise. It should not convey 2 meanings. Just like the films of the Dada Kondke style. So it has to be single meaning. It has to be, no one else can take out any other meaning. And I'll just give you one example. Suppose if I look outside and you see more than 100 cows and all are white, one is black. Now what will you say? If someone says that there are black cows also in JJ Hospital campus, correct? Anything wrong in this? Can anyone go wrong in this? There is at least one black, because you have seen only one. So there is at least one black cow in JJ Hospital campus. Is it also 100% correct? No one else can take out any other meaning?
One side of it may be white, one side.
You have heard my lecture before. So this is not his brain. This is not his brain. So
All it means is I have remembered it.
So I should have told beforehand, whosoever heard my lecture before should not answer this. Anyway, so there is at least one cow in JJ Hospital campus whose one side is black, because you are seeing only one side, other side you don't know, maybe different color.
Precision is important.
Precision is important. So similarly, like say just one research question again related to glaucoma, to compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in glaucoma patients. Any ambiguity in this? There are a lot of ambiguity. I'll just now tell you. Now read this. The second, same, related to same, but next question, to compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in newly diagnosed glaucoma patients with advanced glaucomatous damage. It means now you have narrowed down the patient selection criteria. Earlier it was not specified anything, but now you have said that glaucoma patients who have been newly diagnosed, it means not being treated before, and also, good morning sir, good afternoon sir, and also that these patients are not early glaucoma, not means they are all advanced glaucoma patients. So in that group you want to compare. Is this all, or is there still scope for narrowing down further? To compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in newly diagnosed glaucoma patients with advanced glaucomatous damage in Indian population, because the response in Indian population will be because there are racial variations. So Caucasian will be different, Indian population will be different. So it means you are specifying more. Is that all? Yes, good. And it was not given any time frame, that what time period you are going to study. That you start study today, you have to decide what time frame you are going to study. Because if you start today and for 6 months, and after 3 months you said, no, now this is better and I want this to be better and that's why we have proved it and it is correct, it is wrong. So you have to decide beforehand what time frame you are going to study with. So to compare the efficacy of Xalatan and Timolol on IOP in newly diagnosed glaucoma patients with advanced glaucomatous damage in Indian population at 3 months follow-up, it means anyone who reads this will know that this is what he is taking, the selection criteria of the patients, which race it is, what time frame he is taking, what do things are comparing, what is the population. So, for an ideal research question, in standard, it's in intervention trial, the 5 things, elements should be there. Like this goes by the mnemonics PICOT. So, P stands for population. Which population you are going to study? Intervention. What intervention your main focus is that you are going to study? And comparison. Compared to what? Means compared to what you are going to study this intervention. And what outcome measures you are going to study. Like similarly, as I said in Tendulkar and Lara, that if you have to outcome measure, there was, suppose you say that whosoever has got strike rate maximum, whosoever has got maximum number of centuries, whosoever has got maximum number of 50s, or total number of runs, whatever is their outcome measure should be decided beforehand. You cannot decide later on. So that also should be there in research question. And finally, a time frame. Similarly, in qualitative study also, but the mnemonic remains the same, but the little P for population, I instead of intervention, because there is no intervention, becomes issues. And C is the context, O is outcome, and T again the time frame. Now just I'll give you 1 or 2 examples. Now in this already published paper in Indian Journal, we used RedCam 120 camera system, massive research laboratories in INC, Dublin, CA as a screening tool and compared it with BIO in screening of ROP. Now can you find out those elements in this, everything? Population. Can you find out which population? Not defined anything. Just simply that we are going to screen ROP, but then what population we are going to study? All newborn or any newborn who is the premature or means whatever is specific. Then similarly the compare. Of course, the two things are there that I am going to compare REDCAM 120 system and the BIO, binocular indirect ophthalmoscope. But in this, what parameter, what outcome measures I am going to study, that he has not mentioned. Similarly, compare means in comparing is what? Screening tool means you have to define that screening tool. What is that? Means what do you want to study? That, what do you want to see? That okay, I will see this thing, new vessels formation or area of non-vascularization or whatever. So those things, then only whether we can able to find out with these two systems or not. Similarly, this also is published paper where the author has divided in two parts, but still this doesn't specify properly. The population is vague. There is nothing written about the population, and the other things also means not the outcome measures. So something is written vaguely that the morphometric data by two systems, OCT and the planimetry of optic disc photography. But in this means at least the population is not properly described. Now this one is again a published study, but here just it's a one sentence, big sentence, but can you find all five elements? Can anyone volunteer? P, what is the population in this? Two, you don't know, you are editor.
Not with respect to this.
Yes. All any PG students can come forward. Population, which population is this? Yes, so senile cataract. Patients with senile cataract, that is the population which is the part of the study. Now, second what? PI, intervention. What intervention? Sorry? Phacoemulsification. Anything more? Sorry? Okay. Then it means probably two steps you are telling together. So intervention, phacoemulsification with ACM without OVD. That is the main intervention. And compared to what? C, PIC, comparison. Yes, correct. So phacoemulsification with OVDs alone. So it means both were phacoemulsification. One was without, one was with. Okay. Now what is the outcome measure? Yes, very nice. Endothelial cell count, endothelial cell loss. And time frame T? Immediate post-operative. So it means it's not a very long-term study. Means it's maybe 1 week, maybe 1 month. So it's a short period. So everything is clear in your research question itself, that someone wants to know that, okay, someone is interested in this type of topic, he will immediately know that what this article is going to be all about, just by reading this research question. And also this research question is so precise, all elements are mentioned. Similarly, this is also a published study, and this also, now can all five elements one can locate. It's little 2 sentences, 3 sentences, but can you locate the population first? Yes. And should I read it first? Yes. Now, population. In eyes having phacoemulsification. Okay, it means definitely those patients who are undergoing phacoemulsification. The intervention, eye, intervention. Yes, ringer lactate, because this is the one which is not been studied, so it's going to be studied. And comparison, BSS plus. Then outcome measure, correct? Now everyone is getting trained. Fantastic. And the time frame, it's given straight away. So it is 6 months follow-up. So it's little long term, not the short term study. So in this means all 5 elements are there. So if you any study, if you formulate a question like this, probably your study will be better planned and you will find less problems in conducting those. And always remember that all ethical issues means you have to follow that. So you cannot formulate research question on unethical treatment, and because then you will not get clearance from the ethics committee, and clearance of research by ethical committee is mandatory. And Dr. Lahane sir will tell you about all ethical aspects.
And also for IJO publication.
Yes, for yes, correct. And
Can I just ask you one small question? If you look at the title of the papers 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were very short. They were not long. But nowadays you look at the papers, the title have become very long.
no, title is different, research question is different.
No.
But then title also means there is one discussion can be only on how to prepare the title or how to make a title.
What could be the reason why it has become longer and longer compared to say earlier research?
Maybe. Yeah,
People
exactly.
earlier they were not realizing, because now what happens that it's everything is, because what I foresee like this, that if I publish a paper, then I want that what is my interest? I don't get any money for this. Okay. So what is my interest? That more and more people should read this. Now how do you search? Like she has told you that you first go and search in the title.
Yes.
There's some keywords.
TI search.
So TI. Okay. So in title. So if you want that someone, and these days it's all internet. So if you want to search something in title, it means whatever your paper is all about, the more important, the keywords should always be there. So that someone wants to find out that, the moment he will click that and click title, it means your article should be picked up. So that is one, and plus the editors also have become more educated these days, that they want that the title should convey whatever the paper is all about. So that is the reason why it has become longer and longer.
Thank you for complimenting the editors.
No, definitely, yes.
No, when people are seeing a long list of search results, the more indicative the title is, the more
Yes.
they want to read it.
Right, correct. Because
As I said,
after,
that cage in search for bird doesn't help.
yes, because once you have located one article, then the next step will be to go into detail. How will you decide after reading the title of that? So then the title should be completely, because just there you are in hurry. Anyone who is searching literature is in hurry. So if he sees a title and he thinks that, oh, this is exactly what I wanted to find out. So immediately he will go there. So that's why it should be indicative. What does it indicate? So, and the Vasumati is doing day in and out, so she will tell you exactly the importance of title. And now coming to his question, that what I was telling, that I also had similar this thing, that because now all the priorities of the patient and complaints of the patients are changing. Because I said 30 years back when we were doing postgraduate, 40 years back, then that time mainly there was nothing, only that plus 10 plus and 1 point plus or 2 plus diopter cylinder at 180 and the patient reading 6, absolutely fantastic. That was the end of it. And the patient was using medicine for so long, lying on bed for so long, and all those stitches to be removed later on, those things were there. Gradually the all refinement has gone on increasing, and now people are even say doing surgery in the topical anesthesia. So patients immediately after some time can be mobile and can see vision, means can have vision. So then there means all those focus has changed, and even the minor problem, it's not that earlier it was not there. This was there earlier also, but it was getting masked by the other major symptoms. So that's why these symptoms have come up more often. And so I also noticed that. So what I did, I thought, because one thing I noticed, if you see this, most of the patients in post-operative cataract, absolutely clean surgery, nothing wrong, but you will see meibomitis. And we did one study, and unfortunately the doctor, I don't know where he's sleeping, is still not published yet. So we did one study first to find out what is the, in cataract, post-operative cataract patients, what is the incidence of meibomitis. It was definitely high, and incidence was high, and we compared it, in this we compared with the other eye, because other eye which is not operated, and there is nothing which is going to be common in both eyes, so it's all separate. So in that we got, so that was something which we found. Then the question comes, so first of all you have to find out, is there any really reason for this? And that definitely myomitis will give you problem. Like this, the complaint that you are talking, pain and itching and irritation. Then I started telling patients after 1 month that you give hot fomentation for some time, give some massage, lid massage, and then continue it for 1 week every day. Then after 1 week, means once in a week. Then I thought that definitely it reduced. But now what I have started doing it, that I have, after 1 week or 10 days only, I have started telling, now you can rub your eye. Because even if the patient will rub, nothing will happen. But why this happens, according to me, now, so I know that, okay, the incidence is more and this may cause this problem, the symptoms, maybe the root cause for the symptom. So then the next part of the study we can design, now we are going to design, where to find out certain causes for this, that why it happens. Maybe when the patients are not touching the eye for 1 month after operation, then maybe that we are using so many eye drops, like steroid drops, antibiotic drops, everything has got preservative. So those preservatives are causing some changing, altering the texture of the conjunctiva and the mammalian gland secretion. So that may be the cause. So there it's not that everywhere you have to start with the RCT. So there first which I did, I just simply did one epidemiological study, that just to see that where really incidence is more or not. And then later on, so then we can, from there you can generate some hypothesis and then find out some plausible cause and then move in that direction. So now we will just see how to plan something where we can see that certain cause we can rule out, or certain cause we can prove that, okay, this is because of this, rubbing the eye or not rubbing the eye or putting so many drops. So now even I have stopped. Earlier I used to give 2 types of drops for 6 weeks. Of course, for 4 weeks, tapering frequency. But now antibiotic drops after first week I stopped, and only I give that steroid drops. Steroid, of course, with combination of
Varun, I think you're not asking the treatment. Probably it should be a homework, Nitin.
No.
Nitin.
So I.
No, Nitin. No. We are not talking about treatment here. We are here to do.
No, just thinking, because once you got a problem, then you have to see that, find out the answer for that.
No, but he'll do the homework now. Tomorrow he has tried the exam.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
There are questions from Nayak's talk. So Nayak, the next speaker is Dr. Lane. In the meantime, I request Professor Lane, Padmashri Lane, to give the memento on behalf of JJ Hospital and IJO to give it to editor of another journal now. Thank you, Varun. And I take this opportunity probably to congratulate Dr. Lane and JJ. Can we give a standing ovation to JJ itself, because we have record 175 registrations.